What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Arm Barn Podcast. We got some stuff going on this week. There's actually a lot of stuff going on in sports. I don't know if anybody cares about the College World Series, College Softball World Series. I mean, we're seeing some pretty cool moments. Did you check out that Oklahoma was down? They hit that clutch bomb. I mean, Washington was down 6 in the 7th inning at one point, and now they're going to the College World Series for softball. I know Clemson. I was just watching Clemson versus Miami for the ACC championship literally a couple minutes ago. Clemson was winning that. So we'll see. We'll see kind of how it shapes out. We'll see how the College World Series and all that good stuff shapes out. But in terms of what we're going to be talking about today, let's get right into it. What do you got? How's everything going for you this week? You guys have basketball. What happened this week in the world of basketball for Carson?
So, yeah, this week's just an off week. So we just had coaches meeting. So season practice starts Tuesday. And then next Saturday, pretty cool, like a little community college over here is having a clinic and whatnot for the little kids. Just an hour and whatnot, with their team. So just run them through some drills, pretty cool stuff for the kids. They get to be in the stadium and stuff. So
that's fire. Yeah, no, that stuff always is fun in terms of as a little kid, like doing it. Where is it at? Is it at the community college?
Yeah, it's at their like little stadium they have.
All right, cool. Yeah. So it'll be like a bigger gym. Yes. It'll be a little bit nicer. Yeah. So even if it's not the nicest in terms of gyms in college, of course, it's still cool for right there.
What's up, y'all? Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Arm Barn Podcast. If you like G Fuel or would like to try the official drink of esports, use the code TheArmBarn at gfuel.com today. For my caffeine people, there's going to be some awesome products like the energy tubs and the energy cans. And then for my no caffeine people, there's also going to be some great products for hydration. So check that out today at gfuel.com and use the code TheArmBarn.
But okay, let's get right into it. This weekend was fantastic. This weekend was absolutely fantastic. We went golfing on Sunday morning. They usually do like a Memorial Day little outing in her family. Her cousins organize it usually just John and Mr. Van Gennep play in it. But Mr. Van Gennep hasn't been really too into playing golf. He's not really too interested in playing a whole, round anymore. Yeah. So I took his spot this week. And we played yesterday morning, and it was a blast. 9 holes. It was per cart. I've been hitting it. I shot a 46. Okay. I shot a 46, and I had an 8 on a par 4. Okay. So that's obviously not good. An 8 on a par 4 is quadruple bogey, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's basically just ass. That's what it is. Yeah.
Ass. Yeah. But other than that, I didn't shoot worse than bogey the whole time. I didn't get any birdies either, but I was either par or bogey the entire time. Shot a 46. So if I didn't get that 8, even if I could have got like a 5, we would have been talking about, some of the best golf I've ever played, which it really was. So I'm starting to get a little consistent, which is kind of nice now that I'm not swinging a baseball bat. We also were nailing fish last night too, which was sick. I know you're not a big fishing guy, but we're going to get you hooked onto a nice northern pike or a bass while we're trolling, and it feels like you got a damn truck on that damn line, which is sick. It's a lot of fun trying to reel those things in because when you're trolling, the boat's going. Right. So as you're going, then all of a sudden, even if a half-pound fish hits your shit while you're going 5 miles an hour on the boat, it feels like an absolute, it feels like a whale is on your line essentially. But yeah, no, had a great weekend. We were just hanging out up there, Memorial Day, all that good stuff. I know you guys hung out at Uncle Jeff's, which is cool. That place is sick. Did you guys go in the pool?
Yeah, we went in the pool. They're still having a lot of work done in the house, but it looks great. So they did a bunch of upgrades, upgraded the backyard. Yeah, it looks really good.
Let's go. But all right, let's get right into it. We'll start off with some NFL stuff. We're going to get into last week. We did share some opinions last week. We got it rolling a little bit in terms of letting it loose. And we're definitely going to kind of bring up something today that kind of fits the mold of that as well. Cause it's just like so annoying. some of the crap that they do, and just like it's getting to be a little bit overboard because there's plenty of okay, and I'm going to leave it at that. There's plenty of okay organizations that at least you could do, and of course they had to do something like this. But all right, let's start with some NFL stuff. Big news here, especially for you personally, because I think honestly, like if it's the right spot, it could be pretty dangerous here. But DeAndre Hopkins obviously getting released by the Cardinals. Does this shock you? What was kind of your feeling on it?
All the talks out here. I mean, dude, I think they're going to be in full-blown tank mode. It's all lined up, right? So they trade back in the draft this year to get another 2024 first. So they've got 2 2024 firsts, and then as well with Kyler being injured and possibly not ready till the earliest around Halloween, it wouldn't shock me if they start off terrible, that they tank this year, so that next year they are looking at, if they have the number 1 overall pick, they then have the decision: do we go after like a Caleb Williams or Drake May, or do we get a king's ransom and continue to build a team around Kyler if you think Kyler could still be your guy?
That's what I was just about to say. That's like the exact decision. Yes. It's either got to be you move on from Kyler and you trade Kyler, or you just say see ya and you go with your guy. If you love Caleb Williams, Drake May, or even what's his name, there's talks here about what I was even saying. Who's the Tennessee guy?
Joe Milton.
Joe Milton, dude, is starting to get some hype. And if he's
I just don't – I mean, listen, I get it. He's another one of these freak athletes. To me, it's – and we'll get into this in depth at a later point. But to me, now, it's Caleb Williams and Drake May.
And Drake May.
And then clear number 1, because I would have – a lot of people said this too, but I would have had them 1-2 this year as well.
100%. 100%.
So that's my take there, but I still think there's dudes, Michael Penix, Quinn Ewers,
there's guys that can play. This quarterback class is good.
This is definitely one that has a couple of dudes. So that'll be fun to see, but that's kind of where the Cardinals are at. So no, that was not a surprise to me.
I think if he has a good year at Tennessee, like he balls out, competes for the Heisman, is slinging it around, then you could start to maybe consider, because dude, he is a freak athlete. Like his frame, like he's a freak.
To me, he's not going any higher than number 3.
I think those two are. I think those two
show that they're going to be dudes in the NFL.
So there's another thing. Like, who knows what the Cardinals are going to do? Like, seriously, because my feelings about Kyler Murray. I don't think that he is a guy that can win a Super Bowl ever. Like, don't get me wrong. Obviously, he's not like the worst quarterback in the league or nothing. And he's a freak as well. That's total 100%. Freak. Total freak. But just in terms of NFL quarterback, I don't know if it's any type of long-term success or a guy you could really build your organization around. So I'm curious to see what they do there. Either move on from Kyler or all in on Kyler and, like you said, get an absolute bag for that first overall pick.
Here's the other thing, right? The other pick that they got is the Texans. So, I mean, in theory, the Texans could have a trash season. And there's some even mock drafts, the way too early mock drafts that are out there that are predicting the Cardinals could go Caleb Williams at 1 and then go Marvin Harrison Jr. at 2, pair them up, and then
that'd be crazy.
Wild, and again, who knows?
That'd be crazy. So has that ever happened? A team get the first and second overall pick?
That I don't know. That'd be something. That'd be cool to see.
Yeah, that would be crazy. Like they just get their pick at whoever they want. First 2 players off the board. That's nuts. We're definitely going to talk about that. But that'll be an all NFL year type thing, because Marvin Harrison, even the 2024 class is legit. I ain't getting rid of that pick. The only way I would get rid of that pick is if freaking Tony trades me Jamar Chase. But other than that, I ain't getting rid of that 2024 first round pick, because there's a lot of dudes in there. At receiver and at quarterback for sure.
There's even some running backs too.
I know. I know.
We haven't even mentioned freaking what's his name, Georgia tight end.
I know, Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers. I want him on my team bad. If he's there, I'm probably taking him. I mean,
class,
that stat that I saw. That stat that I saw about the I don't know what the hell the metric
Yeah.
is, but it's in terms of like his intensity or like whatever his
Yeah.
movement intensity is the same. He's the only guy ever, like literally on the Georgia team and any team that uses this technology. He's the only person that can match he gets 100% on it in practice and he gets 100% on it in the game. It matches his
Right.
game score, which is
it's crazy.
unreal.
He's a beast.
Beast. But all right, possible landing spots here. I've been seeing some like I guess wild cards, I guess you could say. But who do you think? I'm pretty sure we're pretty much on the same page here, but who do you think, the cap space thing? If he's looking for 14 mil, his options are limited.
For sure.
But if he's willing to take less and do some restructuring, I mean, obviously it would be a new contract, but I'm just saying like take less than he's supposed to essentially. Then obviously the choices are a lot more whatever he wants essentially. But yeah, what do you got? What do you think the teams are that he's going to?
The obvious ones right now are Bills and Chiefs. That's kind of who everyone thinks is going to be in the running to get him. I do think, again, Homer here, Jet fan, like to me, they have 19 mil right now open in cap space. I get we still got to sign Quinnen Williams, but I would rather see them cut Corey Davis, which would free up like 12, 13 mil in cap space, and you get an instant upgrade in D-Hop. Like I would rather see that move. So I think the Jets are definitely someone with the moves or the flexibility that they have and them going all in. I think that there's someone that he could definitely slide into for sure. I think too, a lot of people got to realize the Lions here.
I know.
I think he could. I mean, if you're throwing.
I know. I was literally going to throw their name out there because I've seen them in a couple articles as the wild card team. But yeah, go ahead.
I mean, if you're gonna, especially in a weak NFC, you put D-Hop on that team to where eventually, once everyone's at full strength, right? Obviously, you got the suspension with Jameson Williams, but you put out Amon-Ra St. Brown, D-Hop, and then Jameson Williams with the running back situation they have now. Tight end.
I was just about to say, how bad is that Montgomery injury? What'd they say about that? It hasn't. I didn't see anything further. Yeah. They just said he suffered a lower leg injury. That could be a rolled ankle. That could be literally.
It could be like when they were talking about Rodgers in practice. Oh, got a calf injury. It's like, bro.
Yeah. It's fine.
It's
He's
also
fine.
freaking, the 29th of whatever of
I know.
May.
I know.
Everyone's got to chill. So, but I think one of those four teams would make sense to me. Obviously, Chiefs, Bills, like I get it. But my thing is, I do think there's no way the Jets aren't inquiring on this.
But also, how are the Chiefs? I saw like this cap situation. I don't think it's even like it. They'd have to do some a lot of restructuring to be able to sign him
for sure.
Now where the Jets have a clear path, Lions have a clear path. They mentioned some other teams too, like the Patriots, but I saw right away, there's no way, because there's no freaking way that DeAndre Hopkins is going back with that offensive coordinator that he had beef with.
And on top of that too, why are you going to go to the team that's probably going to finish fourth?
I agree. We're going to get to that here in a second as well, but I agree. I think the Patriots are effed, dude. I think they're going to get wrecked by that conference.
To me, right, if I'm D-Hop, right, like there's no way if my choices, I'm a clear free agent. If my choices are Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Rodgers, freaking even Goff though has proven that he can support
also with that team,
right?
Yeah.
And then Mac Jones being the fifth. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not comparable.
Dude, I was actually gonna say this. I could see, because I don't think the Patriots they'll win enough games, in my opinion, to where they're not gonna get like a top 5 pick. But I could see them being in the conversation for trading up to get one of these guys.
Yeah.
Like legitimately. Yeah. If we're talking about this in the beginning of next year's draft, like the draft stuff starts, I could definitely see if they're sitting at like 10th
Yeah.
overall, I could definitely see them trading up to get a guy like Drake May, or I don't know about Caleb. I think Caleb Williams is going to
Yeah,
go
so do
1.
I.
So, but like a guy like Drake May or one of these other dudes, maybe they do stay at 10 and take one anyway. But I'm just saying, like, I could see them being in the mix for replacing Mac Jones at the end of the season if they struggle, especially in that division. I mean, if you need to be like Josh Allen is not going anywhere. You know what I mean?
Weapons. That's the bottom line. Is they continue to not have weapons, and I know you're gonna.
I love it
gonna
though.
say Booty and whatnot for your fantasy team, but I mean, in real
oh my gosh, no.
It's just like, what are we doing here,
dude? That's what that is?
100%.
It's a dart throw. Are you kidding me? The upside is just too big because if he ends up being like, beast, obviously I'm going to be hyped that they just found their guy. And they've done this in the past too. Don't get me wrong. They've also missed on a ton of guys.
Yeah.
A ton. But I'm just saying, like, they have nailed it with some of these late round guys a couple times. So we'll see what happens there.
To that point, though, right? There's also the difference of that they had Brady there during all that. So
100%. 100%. But in terms of him, though, he was regarded. They thought he was the number 1 receiver and stuff coming out of college. But again, no, I'm not like delusionally high on Kayshon Booty or whatever the heck his name is. But yeah, no, I could see. I'm actually hyped. I think Juju's gonna have a really good year there if he stays healthy. So I'm actually excited about that situation because they have no weapons. But yeah, no, I don't think the Patriots, he's going there. I really do think it'd be between the Chiefs if they restructure some shit, the Bills, and then the Jets too. And then, like I said, I think the Lions would be a really, really good fit for him.
One more team that, like Vinny hit me up on, and I told Vinny basically there's 0 chance of this happening. But I guess there's talks in Carolina. They may try and make a push for him because he's from Carolina. But again, like I don't see it happening. I don't see him linking up with a rookie quarterback at this point in his career when he's had such a horrible history of quarterback play. Besides Deshaun Watson, everyone else has been trash. And I think now that he has basically the choice of the litter, he's going to go to a guy that is instantaneously is going to be elite. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. Do you think I've also seen the Ravens popping up a decent amount as well. So that would be interesting for sure.
I look at that and I go, eh.
I hope Lamar proves everybody wrong
not that the.
I'm saying in terms of like really supporting. Yeah. I'm saying like really supporting and having wide receivers on their team have legit wide receiver seasons because it really hasn't happened too much.
Marquise Brown had I think a good year and then some decent years, right?
Yeah. That was also game like he'd play in. I don't think he played in all the games essentially, but yeah, he did have a couple of years with Lamar.
I just think too, Lamar's big target is Mark Andrews. He's going to be the number 1 in the offense, just the way at least the way that it's been. Obviously, I know they're transitioning offenses, but then
I think they're going to use Likely
too.
Use
Likely, so then you got another. But then we're also sitting Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, Odell Beckham. That's why I don't think the Ravens are going to be in play for this because I think Hopkins would essentially have been their Odell Beckham signing.
Agreed. Yeah, no, I think that they're kind of like a similar player in terms of where they're at. Yeah. And just kind of like what you're getting, essentially.
One last thing on the D-Hop thing is some people, obviously, you see on social media are talking about how he's not the player he once was and this, that, and the other thing. Like, obviously, he's aging. But, like, people can't forget that he was on pace to be, like, a top – if you stretched out from when he came back from his suspension through the end of the year and extrapolated that over a full season at the pace he was going, he was going to be, like, a top – He was playing like a top 5 wideout.
Yeah, he was playing great. He was literally playing great.
It makes no sense to me that people are like, oh, don't pay him. It's not prime D-Hop. Like, he came back. You can fact check me on this, but I'm pretty sure game 1, him coming back, he had 15 receptions. It's like.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say, like, because I remember I was like, you got him back, and I was like, shit. Yeah. I was like, damn, dude. I thought he was going to, maybe have a couple games like that. But yeah, no, I mean, if he goes to one of these good quarterback situations, or if he goes to like the Lions or something like that, he's going to be putting up numbers. That's going to be good. And honestly, I'm not going to lie. I actually would like that. I would like it because it'll open up the field more. Just in terms of like, I feel like it'll keep Amon-Ra possibly healthier for the entire season too, so his usage isn't so high. So I would prefer that.
Selfishly, I want either the Jets.
The Chiefs.
I would like it for I would like the Jets.
Yo, if he goes to the
I
Chiefs,
agree.
dude, I don't think we're ever gonna see anything like that offense ever.
Agree.
Like seriously,
No,
ever,
dude. I'm talking because I do have him on my dynasty team, so it would be difficult to root in those games for D-Hop against the Jets. So I think the Jets would be like probably the second best place statistically, second or third. You can make an argument Bills or him, right?
Yeah, Bills, Chiefs, Jets. I think is easy top three
fantasy wise, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I just like, hey, it'll cover all my bases if he goes to the Jets. But I know
it'd be sick if he goes to the Jets.
If he goes to the Chiefs, though, fantasy wise, sign me up.
Crazy, dude, crazy. I don't even want to experience that. In terms of football too, like fantasy, it is what it is. It's just D-Hop's gonna be good anyway. But like, dude, that is going to be annoyingly good in football. I mean, having a guy like D-Hop and Kelsey on the field at the same time, guys who like, that's like top tier understanding guys. You know what I mean? That's like Keenan Allen. That's like, these guys that just, for some reason, just no matter what, they're going to find that hole. D-Hop is, I believe, really high up 100%. On that list, if not number one in terms of receivers wise, in terms of feel, in terms of that feel, that vet presence. It's like the Larry Fitzgerald shit. Like, we're literally, even as his speed went down, how is he wide open in the middle of the field?
Like, just like nonsense.
Yes, it makes no sense. So yeah, no, those three teams would be crazy. Something random. We actually mentioned his name a couple seconds ago. Something random that I think, could really, if he stays healthy, could have like, and I'm going to kind of target him in terms of our redraft league. Marquise Brown might absolutely have target galore because even if you think about it, I mean, what was he getting? 10 targets a game, 11 targets a game. I mean, that is going to be ridiculous. And two, I'm pretty pissed. A guy like Greg Dortch, yo, he might literally have an okay season this year based on
they just took Michael Wilson in the third round out of Stanford. So that's another guy that, looking at the Cardinals, the only caveat to all of this, of course, is we have zero clue what the quarterback situation is. Yeah. So, and again, Colt McCoy, right? Like, serviceable. Clayton Tune, they just drafted. So, but I mean, either way, like, Colt McCoy at this point is a
question marks. It's question mark.
But if we're looking at potentially seeing both of those guys cover the full 17 game schedule, it's not ideal.
Shit, bro. No, it's not looking good for Arizona Cardinals football. All right. You got anything else in terms of that kind of stuff, or are we getting into some of these conferences here?
No.
All right, let's kick it off hot. We're going to pick our winners. We'll talk about it a little bit. Why? We'll pick our winners for each division here. We'll start with the good old, just because on NFL.com it's the first one. Let's talk about the AFC East. So it's your division here. To be honest, if you take them, shouldn't be. I honestly don't think anybody can argue with this really. But what do you got here? I know who I'm picking.
I'm taking the Jets. I just think, again, people are sleeping on how good Aaron Rodgers is. And like, the dude is crazy locked in. He's been at every meeting. Like, I don't think people can really understand the difference that he is in comparison to what we've had ever. So now you put him in with Garrett Wilson, with Alan Lazard, who's good. They've got three good tight ends. I mean, Uzama, Ruckert is now apparently in camp. Ruckert is like really starting to freaking show out, which at Ohio State,
I bet he was good.
Conklin, right? And then, I mean, we're talking Breece Hall coming back, who he'll probably be fully healthy. It looks like at the beginning of the season, but even if it's a couple weeks.
Carter, Abani Kanda, and Zonovan. I mean, even if you have two running backs go down, I'd be like, all right, you guys are going to be all right.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you need. You need, like, the depth. A lot of these good teams have those guys that can just randomly step up.
Dude, Mecole Hardman. We have got Mecole. So, I mean, like, we're very, very deep. And then offensive line, the tackle they took out of Pitt, I forget his name off the top of my head, but everyone projected him last year as a day 2 pick. He decided to go back, and then he got injured. So literally the only reason he fell is because of it, because of an injury this past season. They take him. The center out of Wisconsin they took, like, dude's 6'7", and he's freaking pummeling dudes. And Wisconsin constantly puts out good linemen, right? So I mean, and then we haven't even mentioned the defense, right? The defense is loaded. I mean, they have like volleys and volleys of defensive linemen to go hunt the quarterback. They're gonna re-sign Quinnen Williams, Sauce and DJ Reed. I don't care what anyone says. That's the best corner combo locked out in the NFL. So I mean, to me, again, going back to last year, if they would have averaged 19 points a game, which with Aaron Rodgers, I don't see us not averaging 19 points a game, they would have had 11 wins. So I think, too, you then plug Rodgers in, the defense's play is going to be like through the roof because they know
they could be more aggressive.
100%.
They could be more aggressive. Imagine you guys are up 14-0. They're gonna be picking shit off. They're gonna be. It's gonna be crazy.
Again, the first rounder they just took, Will McDonald, like, he is a freak off the edge. I don't think people are giving the Jets credit for that pick. So
I agree, because it was anytime it's a boring pick, the Steelers do it all the time. The Steelers do it all the time to where they take the boring guy who everybody's like, oh, shocker. The Steelers took that guy. And then what does it end up being? The best, like literally the best pick for their team and what that's going to help them.
And
so I totally
agree about the Flight 23 that the Jets do, where they basically show the insides on their offseason, right? So like this week's episode, they went in and it was covering the draft. And everyone in the media was trying to say that, oh, Joe Douglas got blindsided by the Steelers jumping them and trading with New England
and panic picked him.
They literally have him in the room going, and this is like picks way before the Jets were up. He goes, I bet you the Steelers are going to come up and trade with New England, and he goes, and they're going to take Broderick.
Yeah, and also too, if in their head they're going, okay, we like this offensive lineman, but if he's not there, he could have been taken by any team prior to that anyway. So then, okay, you just move on to your second guy. You don't panic pick just take an offensive lineman just to take an offensive lineman in that situation. So I totally
they
agree.
broke it down. They had, when it got to their point, was getting close to their point, they had it broken down in order. They all agreed, and they go around and figure it out in the room. They had Will McDonald, then they had Michael Mayer, and then they had Broderick Jones. That's who they were looking at in their selection point. And when it got there, Broderick got taken, and which he predicted. And then he looked at it and said, Will McDonald's our guy, the way he fits the system. But I just think it's funny, again, like the media and all this stuff trying to put out that he got freaking, blindsided and it wasn't prepped. Meanwhile, he literally predicted the entire thing. So it's
bullshit. It's bullshit. Because guys, everybody has a plan. And literally, they know, like, if anybody, they usually stick to it unless somebody falls or something like that. But the only other team, like, and I think it's actually laughable, the Miami Dolphins shit, to be honest with you. I personally think it's laughable. Don't get me wrong. I think their team's good. Their defense is good. They have another good Xavier Howard and whoever their other second corner. Jalen Ramsey. I couldn't think of it. I knew they got somebody, but that's legit as well. But still. I don't. First of all, Jalen Ramsey got torched a lot last year, but as a number 2, really, really, obviously, really, really good cornerback. So in terms of that, but I cannot comprehend anybody putting the Miami Dolphins over the Jets on paper. The only team that's an argument is the Bills, and I like the Bills. I think Josh Allen's legit. Again, they're like, what the hell with the? I keep watching like Good Morning Football. I watch NFL Live. I'm watching all these things, and nobody, like, they're legitimately talking about the Bills and the Dolphins. That's who they keep mentioning at the top 2 in that division. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? We have Aaron Rodgers and the best defense in the league, and I swear I am not a Jets lover. I'm not a Jets lover. Don't get me wrong. I like them. I root for them if they're like playing against a team I don't like. In the AFC East, I tend to root for them. I would love for them just because obviously, you and a bunch of my friends root for the Jets. But like, it's just the weirdness towards them right now. It's like they're actually allowing them to just fly under the radar, and I don't get it. The media would be better off, and the league would be better off hyping it up, so that way if they do shit the bed, then they can wreck them they can wreck them and say they came short of expectations. They're setting the bar low. They're literally setting the bar low. I don't get it. So I think the Jets are going to win the division too. I think they're going to shock people through the first 5 weeks. Could I see them going 3-2, 2-3?
Right.
Okay. If they are not clicking on offense, they go 2-3, whatever. But I could see them going 4-1. I mean, could you imagine these motherfuckers come out and they come out and they go 5-0? Because what is it? Is it week? When is?
I think it's week 4 or 5. They play the Chiefs.
I was just about to say, when do they play the Chiefs? I'm looking right now. They play the Chiefs. Yeah, it's either 4 or 5. Okay, so they play the Chiefs week 4. Could you imagine they're 3-0 going into the Chiefs?
Here's the thing. I don't think it's that crazy.
No, me either. That's why I'm bringing it up. That's why I'm saying it. Because and then they're going into week 5 at Denver. You think oh, come on,
well, dude,
come on.
They just
I think
beat
that
Denver this past year. I get it. You got Sean Payton. They just beat him, and that was with Brees going down and Zach.
Agreed. Yeah, no, I think dude, the Denver Broncos. Don't get me wrong. Sean Payton's legit. I don't think Russ has it anymore.
Dude, I think he was out of shape last year. I don't know how dedicated he is.
I'm curious. I'm very curious. He's a guy that, don't get me wrong, would it shock me if he had a little bit of a bounce back year? No, it wouldn't. But in terms of that's a situation that I am monitoring. I want to watch him in preseason. I want to see what he's doing because that's something that I don't know how that's going to go. But yeah, I think they could easily be 4-1, 3-2, heading into an extremely doable end of the season schedule. So yeah, no, I'm curious. I'm taking the Jets as well. But okay, let's go back here. All right, so we're both taking the Jets. I say the Bills in 2, and Miami and New England are going to be whatever. All right, let's go AFC North. Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, Browns.
I got the Bengals. I just another tough division. I'm not refuting that in the slightest. I just think, based upon my earlier prediction as well, with Joe Burrow having a huge season, having that full offseason finally, to me, I just think the Bengals are going to be very, very difficult to beat for years to come. So I see them. I see them coming out of there again. Not an easy division. I think the Ravens are going to be good.
No,
I think
really
think
good
the
division.
Browns have the potential to be very good, but I still got to see Deshaun come back and be Deshaun before I can even.
Also, they're the Cleveland Browns.
And then the Steelers, right? They're always good. You know what I mean? At a minimum, good. So it's going to be a tough division, tough to win. But dude, Joe Burrow, to me, he's the second best quarterback in the NFL. And when it comes to that, I'm not picking against him, especially seeing as he's already showing with the new contract, right? He's looking out for his boys. So he's keeping the core together. So to me, I'm not betting against the Bengals.
Agreed. I'm taking the Bengals too. I think the Ravens have a chance to be pretty good. I think you're going to see 3 teams come out of this division, especially with the new playoff format. Yeah, I mean, yes, I do. Just because, dude, I think
the reason I'm saying that, right, because that would mean that then only one is coming out of the AFC East.
Is that? Oh yeah,
so
I guess that
saying.
would.
I think you could see 2.
Yeah, because I don't know though, dude, because the AFC East schedule, I could see.
But that's the way I'm looking at both. This is just me again. I'm just talking.
I guess that's true. I guess 2 teams would only be able to come out, or that would mean only 1 team. Isn't there
7 teams make the playoffs because only the 1 seed right now gets a.
So only the 1 seed gets a bye.
So you have 4 divisions, then 3 wild cards.
Exactly. So if the 1 division winner it could be two from then it could be two from the conference that I just said, and it could be
I
two
guess
from
so.
the
Yeah, I guess so.
East. So it could be that I think I mean, if anybody, that's what happened. Isn't that what happened? That almost happened that is what happened this
No,
year.
yeah, no, I guess, yeah.
That is what happened this year, because didn't Miami, Baltimore, and the Bengals made the playoffs, correct? And then the Bills.
Yeah, it sounds right.
So that's what I'm saying. So if the Steelers could have been in,
right,
and who could have been out then?
I think the Chargers would have been out.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, there you go. That could have happened this year, to where it would have been three AFC North teams and two AFC East teams, and then just the division winners of the other ones. Because it happened even in the NFC with the NFC East too. So that's what I could see. I could definitely see it happening, but I could even see it happening the other way too, where it's two. I think what I'm trying to get at really is that I think it's going to be a battle for. I could see one of these divisions having three winners for sure. Three people make the playoffs, I should say. But I think it's going to be Bengals, Steelers, Ravens, personally. But I think it's not even a debate anymore. You got to take the Bengals every single year. Unless Kenny Pickett like all of a sudden starts to show where he's like legit, because obviously the Steelers roster really is right up there with any team, but he's the 100% the X factor. So I'm very curious to see how he plays coming out the gate. All right, this next one should be easy in my opinion. AFC South, Jaguars. They are going to bully that fucking division in my opinion.
So I mean,
hot take, not because he's on my team. I think Trevor Lawrence has a chance to win an MVP because of that fucking division. I literally think they have a chance to go 13-4. Literally, I think they could based on their schedule. I don't think the Titans are going to be that great. Houston, Colts, I don't think any of them are going to be very good. So I could definitely see them waxing everybody. That was easy. Jacksonville, easy. All right. What do you got here? Chiefs. AFC West.
Another easy one.
Chiefs.
I will say, though, I think I could see a situation where two teams come out of the West I could see the Chargers coming out. So
Agreed. I think it could be, I think it could definitely be even like a 2-2-2 situation, and then only one team out of the AFC South.
That's what I'm thinking. So
yeah, and it's just going to come down to Baltimore, really. I just don't know how good they're going to be. If Baltimore is like really good, then okay.
Right? I mean, that's
exactly
that over the last two seasons, that's been a big deal.
Yeah, and it really, like, that's my thing. Are the Ravens with Lamar at quarterback and that roster better than Kenny and the Steelers roster? So that's like literally the debate in that division. But yeah, no, I think it's pretty simple that it's Bills or Jets, then Bengals, Jags, Chiefs as the division winners there for sure. All right, what do you got? NFC East: Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Commanders.
This is another easy one. I think it's the Eagles. That roster's loaded. They killed the draft again. I mean, like I know you said earlier, the Jets have the best defense in the NFL. I think you could make the argument it's the Eagles. Someone could make an argument that the Eagles have the best defense, right?
100%.
So,
100%.
Either way, any way you slice it, dude, they're going to have a top 3 defense. And then you bring back Jalen Hurts, obviously, all the weapons he has, the 2 moves that they made at running back, loaded offense. I mean, they're loaded. So to me,
yeah, and the fact that dude, he looked so good in the Super Bowl. Seriously, I was like waiting. To be honest, I was waiting for him to get exposed a little bit in the passing game, and it never happened.
No.
It literally never happened. He is. Don't get me wrong. I thought he was going to be good, and I thought he was going to. He is. Each year, he exceeds my expectations in terms of the look. And just in terms of his ability to just not even have to run and just use his the pass from the pocket. So, I'm taking the Eagles too. Another easy one. I think this one is not as easy, but again, I'm not gonna lie. I actually think it is kind of easy. Who do you got in the NFC North? Lions. Again, it's not for me. I'm sorry. Minnesota, it was just timing last year. Detroit had obviously it was the first season, had some growing pains in the beginning. I don't see this division not being the Detroit Lions sitting at the top of it after this year.
I still think Minnesota is going to make a run because again, when you have a Justin Jefferson and Cousins is serviceable. Like he's never been elite, but he's good.
Dude,
So
yeah.
right,
He's gonna win
and
you
then all he's
games.
got to do is literally get the ball to him a couple times, and like he could win games for
And
you.
let alone
Hawkinson.
let
I
alone
mean,
their
yeah,
I was just about to say their offensive
Loaded.
is absolutely stacked. Even if they don't have Dalvin Cook, even if they're running out Madison and oh my gosh. I only know this because we play fantasy football.
Yeah.
But what the hell is that other guy?
forget
He's not
my
even
head,
bad.
yeah.
Like yeah, but he's been in there. He's not even bad. So their third string guy, whoever that is, I can't think of his name. But even if they got to run out those two guys, I'm not worried about that offense. That offense is going to be legit. I mean, KJ Osborne at the 3.
Right.
I mean, depending on how things go there, hopefully he's number 2 in targets.
Right.
But I think, but yeah, no, they start 3 wide receivers anyway. So like they're going to be on the field. That offense is going to be legit. This one's a mess. This one's an absolute mess. Bucks, Panthers in the NFC South. Bucks, Panthers, Saints, Falcons. Who do you got?
I'm gonna go. This one's tough. This one's tough.
It's a mess.
Gonna go Panthers. So I'm gonna go
Okay.
Panthers. I think Bryce Young.
Wow. You think they're gonna stick it? You're gonna think they're gonna put it together pretty quickly?
Well, here's the thing: they only have to put it together so good. You know what I mean? So that's really the way I'm looking at it. I think the Saints. I like Derek Carr. I think he's a good quarterback, right? Solid NFL quarterback. And would it shock me if they win the division? No. That's kind of who I was going back and forth between. But I just think that I really like the coaching staff in Carolina. I think that they nailed it with who they got. I think Bryce Young is going to come in and be pretty good off the bat. And they've got a good mix of pieces there to go along with them. So I'm going to take Panthers.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. Panthers are because their defense was pretty good last year.
Yeah.
And they have a decent roster for sure. Chark, they brought in Thielen, Chark. Yeah. I think that's not a horrible pick by any means. I could see the Falcons doing something pretty good too. Just in terms of their running game last year, they were in a lot of games that I did not think they would be in. But I think the Saints are going to pull it off. Yeah, that's why I would just go with the vet. I could see if Bryce Young comes in and adjusts well and stays healthy and is doing good. Yeah, I could definitely see the Panthers winning it, but I got to go the Saints there. All right, last one, NFC West. 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals. I've seen a lot of people taking the Seahawks here, like in some early shit. But I hope you're going the same team out.
49ers. That coaching staff's elite. Obviously, we don't know who their quarterback is going to be to start the year, of course, or how that's going to all play out.
I'm curious.
My prediction: if everyone was healthy, to me, I don't know how you bench Purdy after last year.
Agreed.
But it's going to be interesting if Purdy's not healthy. There's a lot of Sam Darnold chatter right now.
I couldn't agree more. Agree more, dude. This is one of those, like, he's ballsy. Because, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of savage of Sam Darnold. Like, that's a good spot for him. Like, I'm serious. If he gets a shot, watch out. Like, because, dude, if it, like, in terms of, like, the throws, athlete, he's got it. And to be honest, I don't know if you heard anything about Le'Veon Bell on his podcast recently. 100%. Did you see some of that stuff? He literally, and I could see that. Don't get me wrong. There could be some stuff with Le'Veon Bell where he's exaggerating a little bit. That's what I'm saying. If a guy, the way he was relating it to the Steelers, because Mike Tomlin's running a good team. He's getting the most out of his team. Whatever amount of wins that they're supposed to get, he's probably going to hit that mark around where they're at. Now, with Gase, I could definitely see that. If he's literally confused about even the play that they're running, let alone having to make the right read in the moment, make the right decision in the moment, if you're even just confused about the offense before you even get to the huddle, that is miserable. That's got to be miserable. So I totally agree that either way, I'm very curious to see how that shapes out. Not that I could see Trey Lance being the starter too. No, this is not Trey Lance shit talk hour, but But in terms of how that shapes out, I'm very curious as well to see how that shapes out.
Again, though,
but I'm taking the
too,
49ers.
and again,
easy.
too, if he's healthy, I don't know how you sit Purdy. So
agreed. You got to give it. Yeah, you got to give it to him. You got to give it to him to start off. All right, let's move on. NFL, that was good stuff. I'm excited to see how some other people, pick the divisions and all that good stuff kind of heading into this year. I'm curious to see who people are picking. But all right, heading into baseball, we're going to kind of start off with a little bit of a touchy-feel subject here. Just in terms of the Dodgers, like it is, they took it off. Then they apologized. They put a public apology out there for this. Now again, kind of going and playing a very Switzerland, middle of the road here viewpoint. They could have somebody that's totally fine to honor for the LGBTQ night. They could have an organization. They could have somebody come out who does some good stuff in the community. Somebody that's not controversial, really. They easily could have found somebody that's not controversial for this, and they literally picked, like, in my opinion, something that's like should never even be a thing. So what? Go into it. Yeah, go, give me what you got.
They apologized for inviting. They apologized to this group for inviting them and then disinviting them and now reinviting them. So it's a drag group after, they initially invited them to Pride Night, right? Now they are coming again. And the group that they invited is the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. And again, so this is what they're described as, according to Wikipedia. The Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, also called Order of Perpetual Indulgence, is a charity, protest, and street performance organization that uses drag and religious imagery to satirize issues of sex, gender, and morality, particularly Christian perspectives on these topics, and fundraisers and whatnot. So again, like, you just Google photos of these people from this group, and like whoever's listening to this, I highly encourage you to do so. And the bottom line is like, I'm not pointing, but they're freaks. So like, again, to your point earlier, Pride Night, if you want to have it, enjoy. Cool. Do your thing.
Whatever.
But again, MLB, Dodgers, I get you're in California and everyone's crazy out there. But like, the bottom line is that you can just celebrate the Pride movement stuff if you want to, right? If that's something you want to do. But when
free country, free country, do it.
Right. And
have a Pride night.
Right, to your point right there, free country, oh, they can invite this group. You're right, they can. However, MLB, if you want to look at your core fan base and the people that go to your games, that watch your games, it is not the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence people. Now, the people that go to your games, the people that support your teams and the MLB, most of them, and I would even argue to say most of the general population, is going to not be for what this group specifically stands for and the freak show that they put out there. So again, if you want to have this type of event at your stadium, cool, enjoy. If you want rainbow flag stuff, cool. For a day, enjoy it, right? Fine. And I don't even think the general fan would care about that. But why it's such a big deal is because this is an absolute freak show that you're inviting to come in to your stadium, and it's just a mess.
I got something. I got something. This is like the opposite side here. Ready? So imagine the Dodgers invited a Christian faith organization, but their main thing that this Christian faith organization did was say that we should wipe off every LGBTQ situation out there. You know what I mean? Like, could you imagine, like, all they did was we should end all this stuff, end all of it, and that's what this Christian group, could you imagine the outrage that they had for that group? But because they could have found any LGBTQ community organization that had that was just kept it within themselves, didn't bring it in terms of hate on another group. That's literally what they preach. They preach not hating these other groups. And meanwhile, the group that they choose to invite for this event is literally what they're known for, is hating Christians, literally hating Christians. So that's the problem I have with it, is that they literally picked the one that's open, out up front. They're not even trying to hide the fact that they literally hate Christians. So that's what I didn't understand. That's what I don't get. And that's why it just blows my mind that this shit happens.
Right? So they initially invited them, then they uninvite them, and then all of a sudden there's an uproar within this community, and then we got to cave to the mob. Like, again, at what point is someone going to say, "Hey, this is the MLB. Our fan base is this." Simple as that. Because if you're looking at it as pure business, the fan base is this, and this type of stuff. It's getting to the point now where people are actually legitimately boycotting and turning off stuff. Like, you look at the Target stuff. Like, dude,
Target stuff's nuts.
Because even us, right? Like we're not the types that, like, we see this and we're like, I'm gonna completely boycott it, right? We haven't been. No. However, though, it's getting to the point with certain things that they are going so far.
Yeah.
That, like, I'm done.
It's because there's this shit, and this is, everybody's gonna be like, conspiracy theory, and you're crazy. But they literally have people that create scores for this shit, and each company has a score, and they'll get funding and all this random shit, and then they wonder why, like, literally these companies are gonna crumble. And don't get me wrong, like, I also think sometimes, like, this Target situation, in my opinion, could be a little bit of making Target's stock plummet so Target could buy their own stock and get it on the cheap. That's also stuff that I think happens as well, especially in a time of this type of recession shit that's going on here. But keeping that to a minimum on this show, because we're not a conspiracy theory show here, but, like, just on the surface level, like, what, like, in terms of, if it's about growing the sport, if it's about, why do they choose to go so dramatically in one direction? That's what I don't understand, is if it's about growing the sport, like they preach, it's about growing the sport, making it better overall, getting new fans in. Why is it that they are as they're trying to add more fans, why are they also doing shit that's going to cut out what their original fan base is? Like, literally.
And to that point, too, right? Like, if you're trying to add new fans, I'm sorry, like, we played baseball. I played baseball all the way through college. You played baseball professionally, right? All the way up to AA. How many guys were you around that were all for this drag stuff? How many?
Very
how
few.
Many guys
Very
were
few.
Around that would go out and dress up in drag? So
nobody. Well, nobody that we knew of, at least.
So then, even if there is someone that's doing it, it is so.
Yeah, even if there's two per locker room,
so minuscule that to target them as a market in terms of trying to bring them in is lunacy, just from a business perspective.
Yeah. And that doesn't mean the Pride Night thing can't happen, I guess, in California, whatever it is. But it's just like, that's what I don't understand about a lot of this stuff, is like why they think this is the way to get, like, more business and more things. It's just like, let it be the 3%. Let it be the 3%, and just, like, let's do it 3. I just don't understand from a business perspective, especially. It just makes no sense.
Everyone needs to stop caving to these super low, like, minority groups, and I don't mean minority as in black, brown, Asian. I mean minority in terms of numbers. Like, they're so minuscule. On the full scale, of your fan base, and yes, they bark loud, yes, they talk loud, but if you just literally would shut it down. Focus on who constantly is giving you money for your entertainment that you're putting out on the field, and you actually stood for them every once in a while now, I think all these problems would go away, and it would be that simple.
prime example. I have, this is the last thing we'll say on
Yeah.
this, or we can move on a little bit, but in terms of, this is my last little point here. I was a part of 4th of July games
Right.
for 2 years in pro ball.
Yeah.
Clearly our best day in terms of attendance, in terms of all that stuff. So
Right.
what does that tell you? What does that tell you right then and there? Why not gear it more towards that kind of stuff, to where it's like country pride, to where it's, all of that stuff, and it could be inclusive there too. That's what I don't understand. It's not like that does not include. That's what pisses me off about all this, is that doesn't not include all of them. That includes everybody. We're under one flag. Everybody is the United States of America. That's what I don't get, is that should be the stuff that they're pushing, and that should be the stuff that will bring in everybody to where it's, that's what I don't get. I really don't get.
Right, is that, like, if you want to extrapolate, play 162 games in the MLB, right? I would love if they could track this in some sort of way, but I can guarantee you it's a small number. The people that they invited out of this group, how many games are they going to a year? That's not this one night.
Exactly.
How many games do they have on TV in their house? That's not this one night. So again, why are you catering to this group of freak shows?
Agreed.
When they are irrelevant in terms of your fan base. Yet it's going to annoy a lot of your fan base.
A lot of people.
It's just mind-blowing to me. And obviously, everyone's going to say it's a touchy subject. A lot of people don't even want to comment on it like we do. But the bottom line is,
I don't care.
We're not saying anything inappropriate. Zero problems with Pride Night. Do it. But when you're going, this freak show group.
They want to practice. If they want to rent out a space to practice this on their own, this is the United States. They can do it.
Right.
I don't care. But it's like the fact that we're praising it and we're like encouraging. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Becomes lunacy.
That's the problem. Yes. Because it makes no sense. And from a business and from a logical standpoint, if you just look at it purely logically, it doesn't make any sense. All right, let's talk about Spencer Strider and how freaking ridiculous this dude is. Because what the frick? I couldn't believe you sent me this. I didn't even know that was happening. But you sent me a stat that's from, what was
Elias
that
Sports
company?
Bureau.
Elias Sports Group. They have, and I'm about to pull up the thing you sent me. They have 165.4 thousand followers on Twitter. Okay. So this is directly from there. Spencer Strider, and I'll give you credit for this, for finding this. So I'm just reading it, but you got some credit for this. Spencer Strider needed only 61 innings to reach 100 strikeouts. And according to Elias Sports, no other MLB starter has done that in the 130 years that they've been pitching from 60 feet 6 inches. Holy shit, dude!
No, he's
Holy
proving.
shit.
I mean, he's proving right now that he's arguably the best pitcher that we've got. I mean, right now. I mean, you could make an argument that he is the most dominant pitcher in baseball right now.
Yeah. He's crazy. Like I was even watching him, and he didn't even have his best outing yesterday.
I think he gave up a couple home runs. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you're gonna see that with guys that throw that hard, that have that spin rate like that. Because dude, if you barrel that, it's going. But yeah, dude. I mean, even just like you see him, and it's very crazy. And I was listening. Yesterday was one of the first Braves games that I watched. I watched like the first couple innings. Mike's catch was insane too. Posted that on my Instagram story. Shout out to Mike. That was crazy. But yeah, no, that he really is like, and all of his numbers have gotten better. So they've like talked about like his spin rate, and they've talked about like a lot of his metrics. And this is not shocking to me. Because again, I'm not a huge name dropper, but I've caught about 35 to 50 of his bullpens, to be honest with you. Between low A, high A, and I was with him in low A for a couple days, high A for a while, and I was with him in double A throughout the entire month that I was in double A. So in terms of the amount of pens I've caught from this guy, it's been a lot. And just in terms of hearing some of that stuff, the fact that his fastball's
Yeah.
spin rate is getting better. And the guys in the Braves, whoever was announcing the Braves game yesterday, because I know it was on ESPN, so I don't know who did the game, I forget. But they were talking about how like the Braves gave contracts to these guys, these young guys. He's one of them, right? Then they signed him as well.
I'm not 100% sure on his.
I'm not sure either, but either way, they were just talking, and I want to say it was. Let me see here. I'll look up his contract.
I know Riley. I know Mike
on the pod
got it too. Mike Harris.
Yeah. So he signed a 6-year, $75 million contract.
Yeah.
So, which is crazy for a guy who only had one season pitched in the big leagues. But again, like this is something that only the Braves are really doing. To be honest,
guys up early,
like
I think they're looking at it that
and they're
they're trusting their process to say, hey, we've evaluated it.
Not even trusting the individual too, to where like you're not going to get complacent because some guys get money and they say they say kind of F this,
their process to where they've evaluated this guy so thoroughly that they feel comfortable giving the money, knowing that he's going to continue to improve himself and he's not just going to be like, oh, I made it, I'm out. Because you even heard in that same thing with Strider yesterday, and again, I don't know him, obviously never met him, but just his demeanor seems very even keeled. Nothing really gets him up, nothing really gets him down, because they even mentioned like, hey, you're doing so well in the big leagues so quickly, do you feel like you've made it? And he's like, well, no, I never really feel like I've made it. There's always things that I need to continue to work on. And it was just super like monotone, but like you could clearly tell that he's not good with just settling for where he's at. So
no, that's one thing like that I'll say just in terms of like his energy, in terms of like his preparation.
You've mentioned that to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that even just because he's Quadzilla now. He's the Saquon Barkley of the MLB. But like seriously, like just in terms of a guy who would come in and get his work in, he's a dude that would come in and absolutely get his work in. And he just, you can just tell, and don't get me wrong, obviously like certain guys get the opportunity to act like this because they're highly regarded, top on the prospects list, just one of the dudes. So you tend to get to act like that if you're one of those guys, but some of the guys that could act like that don't as well. So in terms of him executing and just like his preparation, how he works, he's a guy. Same thing with Mike. Mike was a guy that every day, he would be getting his lifts in, first of all. He would be doing his stuff out in the outfield, getting his reads in, getting his, he'd be early work hitting wise in terms of one of the first guys there, making sure he's going through his routine every day. So in terms of like getting better on that side of things, those contracts that they gave to Mike, those contracts that they gave to Spencer, I think it tells you that the Braves is a pretty good organization and they have some feel when it comes to this stuff. Because they don't do it for everybody. Like if you notice, they do not do it for everybody. So it is cool to see that they did that for these two guys. And just in terms of him, I kind of agree that they're saying he made it. Based on how he's pitching, again, there is room. There is room there. And obviously I'm saying just because based on how good I think he can be. So it's just more about high praise really. But I do think, I really do think there's room for growth. And I think he could really have some crazy seasons. And this is one of them. I'm not saying he's not having a crazy season, but I'm just saying I think he can even be even better moving forward. So
does him and Walker Buehler, do they get their pants at the same store? Is that
I'm not sure, but they do give off the similar vibes in terms of
like insane.
Yeah, and his mustache, dude, is ridiculous.
He should go all in on the character.
It's
all in, dude.
Oh, it's not even, dude. It's not a character. Yo, it's not. It's not like he would laugh if he heard me talking like this because like he's not a dick. Like he's not a dick, but he like his baseball personality. He's a little bit of a dick in terms of like he goes, which is great. That's what I mean. He's just like he's like a F everybody. Now don't get me wrong, he's a nice guy. So like in the media,
like obviously I've never met the guy.
Yes,
but you could tell he's a bulldog.
He's hardcore.
He's up there.
Yeah, he's hardcore.
He gives a little bit of an old throwback vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going to go up there and basically F you. I know how good I am. Go ahead and hit it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good luck. Awesome. Yes. Good luck. Yeah, and the thing is too, he's the type, and this is why I do like him. You don't hear him
Right.
complaining about his arm. You don't hear if his arm could be hurting for all we know, sore, whatever it is, and it's which I don't think it really probably does because, like I said, his preparation, his mechanics are
You've told me that in
insane.
terms of like the breakdowns within the organization and like, yeah,
crazy the way he uses his body, the way it syncs up, the force, the force mounds that they use every time. Everybody's always like,
he was the standard,
and we because I used to be a part of like the pitcher. Yeah, he used to be a part of like the pitcher, whatever. I used to be a part about the pitchers catchers meetings, even like in spring training. The entire all pitchers and catchers from all levels would be sitting in this auditorium. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying his was at the top of every single category, but you're seeing his name at the top of every single category. So in terms of that, that's why I think he could be a guy. And even if you just look at his body, what is he? He's 6 foot. He's 6 foot. He's not that big. That's what I'm saying. He's learned, and what he takes the most pride in is his hips, his flexibility, his torque. He's like a hinge and rotate kind of guy to where it like there's different mechanics when it comes to all the stuff, how guys use it, and he's just very fluid. And it's very impressive to watch that he's continuing to take so much pride in all this. So yeah, no, it's cool. It's definitely cool to see, and that stat is absolutely
maybe
bonkers.
We'll get him on the show one day.
Yeah, no, I would love that. I could definitely at least give it a go. He wasn't one of the guys, like, don't get me wrong, he wasn't one of the guys that I was like super close with. But I think if I shot him, I've mentioned this to you before. I think if I DM'd him something like, "Hey, for catching 40 of your bullpens, can you spare 30 minutes for us?" I think we'd have a shot at that for sure. So I'll definitely hit him up at some point to see if he would be nice enough to come on.
And maybe.
No, that's what I'm saying. So we'll see.
Too, and then,
That'd be sick. Somebody that I definitely want to get on that I think would literally take 4 seconds to get on is Matt Vierling from Detroit. He was with the Phillies during Bryce Harper's home run, all that shit. So I mean, that'd be pretty cool to talk about that experience. I know I think he's talked about it maybe on a podcast before, which would be pretty cool. So he follows the Arm Barn on Instagram. That's why I've been meaning to hit him up too. So, but yeah, no, that'd be cool if we got Spencer for sure. All right, what I want to do right now before we, what are we at, an hour? Yeah, one more thing here, and then we'll go into what I want to. We'll give you a go at. This is going to be tough, but we'll give you a go at the little game this week. You're up 1-0. You're up 1-0. So I had to go a little bit difficult to give myself a chance to get back into it. But before we do that, I know we're not huge into watching the MLB. We don't like follow it like too hard, but I do kind of want to talk about a team. The Rangers. Yo, they're 33-19. Holy crap. So what I want to do right now, the Yankees have been playing a little bit better. The AL East is insane. But who do you got? Way too early. Who do you got as the World Series favorite right now? Who do you like in the AL or the NL? Who's your number one?
Let's see. I mean, dude, I like the Braves, man.
I know.
I mean, I like.
Now, can I tell you why?
I mean, they're very balanced.
Yeah.
Certain guys, do I think they're going to be able to keep up the way that they've been playing? Like, do I think Arcia is going to continue to hit 315? No.
Okay, but
no.
Mike's hitting under
Mike's
200.
had a rough start. So, like, right.
Can you, when he starts getting going, which will happen, I'll literally put my nuts on it. He literally, once he gets going, that is going to be scary. And I mean, they have the best player on the planet right now, in my opinion, too. Acuna is ridiculous. This man's grittying
Matt
on Olsen's home runs.
Rakes,
dude.
Yeah,
rakes. Sean Murphy. I'm serious. Literally, you could make the argument that he's one of the best offseason pickups. I mean, holy shit, that dude's raking, too.
Playing college ball, obviously, in Ohio, his name was always being thrown around because he played at Wright State.
Is he from Ohio?
Which for college baseball, like a lot of people, who's Wright State? College baseball, Wright State is in the tournament, winning that conference like almost
legit
every year now. So
Yeah,
exactly.
I know a couple pitchers that went there that were in pro ball that were like
Exactly.
top prospects in
Exactly. So he went to
organizations from
Wright
Wright
State and was
State.
a
Yeah.
stud there. So like, and he was around the same time. I think he's how old is he roughly? You think?
Sean Murphy, I want to say maybe
Yeah.
like
So he's late 20s, so
27,
similar-ish
28.
to me. Um, so I was there around the same time, like hearing his name constantly get thrown around as to how good he was. Um, so it's not yeah, so it's not a
28.
surprise that he's doing as well as he has in the MLB. Because I've heard about him for a long time, obviously, and he did well, but prior to this as well, he's always
Oh my
good,
gosh, yeah, he
right?
was solid. He was just on the A.
And that team is
He was
trash,
just on
bro.
the A's.
They can't go to Vegas quick enough.
Trash.
Which I think that
No.
is going to be sick. Did you see the rent? Yeah, so that's going to be really
Oh
cool.
yeah. Yeah, I mean even just look at it from the Vegas Knights
No,
perspective,
dude, the
man. They
Raiders, even
as
the
long
Raiders,
as you buy
the
in.
new stadium,
No,
the
that's
whole
no, but I'm saying if you buy
yeah,
into the Vegas vibe, like you could really make
yeah,
it like a very cool experience, and like that's something that's awesome. So I hope they do that. I hope they kind of make it
yeah,
into a little bit like a
yeah,
showmanship a little bit as well.
yeah,
Like I'm
yeah,
saying for
yeah.
the pregame antics, the in between stuff, it makes it cool.
Right.
Makes it like a tourist
But right, yeah,
destination
no,
too.
I'm in with the Braves
But
for
yeah,
another
no,
reason too. The last thing I'll say is that Soroka's back, and dude,
that you
yeah,
stole my
and I
point. You
think
literally stole my point. If he comes back and
yeah,
is a good three,
yeah,
is pitches as a good number three, I mean
agreed,
they are gonna
agreed,
be tough to deal with. They're
agreed.
gonna be tough to deal with. Because dude,
I
they
know.
have guys too, man, that I think that they could bring up in to help the pen, to help the I'm
Yeah, we're
curious.
still
I'm
waiting on
very curious to see
Darius.
what starts to go on.
Yeah,
I
no,
know,
no, I
I
know,
know.
but I'm
I think
saying
he's
like
hurt.
he's a
Yeah,
guy that could come in out of the bullpen
he's.
for them down the road.
I know. I mean,
He's
how
killing
about
it.
Elder?
Yeah,
I know. Let me look up his numbers while we're sitting here really quick. Because he's been, yeah. Look at this. Has been balling out. The Braves are, yeah. Literally, I want to see his stats. Because talk about a guy
yeah,
that's right here.
yeah.
You don't even. He's a dog, dude. He's a beast. Bryce is. He was always one of the funniest guys too. He's hilarious. But he's dude 3-0 with a 2.10
Yeah.
2.01 ERA, dude. He's
What
started 10 games. Innings
didn't your other
pitched.
buddy just
Yeah,
get his first Schuster? There you go.
Schuster got his first win too.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it's sick watching this, man. I caught this. These were
Yeah.
the dudes I was catching on a daily basis. I mean, Elder was a guy. It was so funny every time. So he started in high A, where I started in 2021. Was there for like a couple weeks. Got moved up,
Right.
but maybe like a month or two. I don't even remember how long he was there. But whatever. He got moved up to Double A pretty quickly. Then when I got moved up to Double A, he literally made one
On the
start,
big league?
shoved, and was on his way
Triple A, okay.
to Triple A. Yeah, no, to Triple A. So yeah, no, it was he's a beast. He came from
Okay.
University of Texas.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's a dude. He's like a legitimate dude. He's from Texas, went to Texas, and then
Yeah.
he's just got that vibe where he's just, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He just comes out and he's gonna ball. And he's like a guy. He's like another. He's just this laser vision. Just wants it really, really bad. So yeah, no, they're gonna be a problem. They're gonna be a problem. And I mean, if Schuster gets going too,
Right.
I mean, if he starts figuring it out like he did last game, I mean, they're going to be a problem. I would say the Braves are probably the number one in my power rankings as well. But you got to take
absolutely.
consideration to the Rays
100%.
too. The
I
Rays,
just think they're
the
gonna
Rays
have a
are
harder
legit.
route, in my opinion. That's just
Agreed.
That's just my opinion.
Agreed.
I
Is
don't think so.
DeGrom back and healthy?
Yeah.
I mean, if they're 30, if they
I
can
agree.
get DeGrom going,
Yep.
they'd be tough too. They'd be really tough. But okay, yeah, that's really all I got on MLB. I don't got much else.
Hey,
I don't got too much. I don't really know the rest of the teams.
Have you seen Pete Alonso? Oh, dude,
Was he
he's on
hitting
pace for like
nukes?
62 bombs this year. Yeah, he's got.
Is he really?
He's,
Is he really? The
they all,
Mets
they
are
keep-
struggling
they keep-
though,
They'll
right?
win a bunch in a row and then lose a bunch in a row. They're just kind of up and down. Yeah.
27 and 27.
Yep.
Ugh. The
Once you
Marlins
get
are
o-
ahead of them.
I think they're gonna figure it out because I do like. Have you seen that? Actually, let's touch on that quick. Have you seen Francisco Alvarez?
Oh yeah, I saw a report that the Mets
They were
pitchers
even
were pissed
contemplating sending him back
because
down.
they were like,
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
they were
So
like,
he's
what the
number
hell?
one since he's come up in defensive efficiency, and he's got 8 bombs. So he has 8 bombs. You know how many home
Yeah.
runs Mets catchers hit last year? 8.
How many? Yeah, I mean he's hitting.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
with
hitting
8 bombs, right?
269
Yeah, yeah. So
with
he's
8
got to be out
bombs
there every day. It's simple as that. Simple. You know, obviously
every
you
day.
spell him every once in a while. Yeah,
There's
but
catcher,
he
the
needs to be out
catcher
there.
stuff.
He's
Yeah,
the dude. So, and then on top of that, dude,
yeah.
I know you played against him, but Brett Beatty's a stud. Dude, he's
Oh yeah, we were even saying it like when it
Yeah.
was rookie ball. He was 18.
Right.
He was 18 years old. I'm not gonna lie, he
He had
did
baby
not
fat on
look
him
like he
still.
does right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a little tubby in that year, but he
Right.
every time he barreled it, it went like 130,000 miles an hour. Like seriously, every time he
smoked.
touched a baseball, it literally was
Yeah.
hit so effing hard. It was like that's what as a catcher, I remember like calling like certain guys, you know, like on our team. I was like when he'd come
Right.
up to bat, I'm like, oh my gosh, if he might hit this
Yeah.
ball 1,000 miles an hour. So now that
Yeah.
he looks athletic.
Yeah.
I mean, he's completely changed in terms of his body transformation. So I couldn't agree more. I don't
Dude,
get why they
and
don't
then
just
Vientos
play these
is
guys
another one.
every day.
He needs to be in the lineup every day too. They called him up. He plays third base as well. But you know, you've got the DH spot now in the NL. These young guys, they need to be in the lineup.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I don't know if you've seen freaking Mauricio. So he's their shortstop prospect. Yeah, Ronnie Mauricio.
Ronnie, right?
And dude, this guy's hitting like 370 in AAA.
Let's see. Yeah, he's hitting right now. He's hitting 346 with 7 bombs.
I know he's got a ton of doubles.
He's got 71 hits already.
Yeah, he's
and 205 at bats.
All of the minors in hits. So, like again, call him up, put McNeil in the outfield, and have him play second base, and then like just lead it in.
He's got 22 doubles already. He hit 26 in the whole entire 2022 season.
Right.
It's not even the All-Star break.
Call him up and then let the young guys freaking push the dudes that are already on the team. You know?
Yeah.
And again,
for sure. I totally agree.
And I'm saying call him up. They're all raking.
No.
I mean, just killing it. Like, let them freaking go. Unleash them, you know? So, but that's it.
All right. We got our last thing. Like I said, you're up 1-0, which I'm kind of pissed about. But all right, this is tough. There's 2 names on this one that are tough. Other than that, you should be able to get it. I'm going to give you one hint just because if this is the reason you don't get it, it'd be kind of whack. There is one tight end on this list. Okay? So there's one tight end and there is – let me make sure. Yeah, no, there's no way. There's no way that these guys are tight ends. There is one tight end and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wide receivers on the all-time NFL leaders. You get 3 strikes.
So this is all
try to name all
time receiving? All-time receiving yards.
Yards, yes.
Okay. All right, well, obviously Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice, number 1 with 22,895 yards.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Number 2, 17,492.
Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown.
I believe he
is.
Oh, I thought he cracked the bottom.
Not on there. He is number 24 with 12,291.
1X.
1X. Let's go.
All right, you said there's one tight end?
One tight end.
Well, I'm pretty sure Steve Smith's on this list too, right?
Yeah. Steve Smith Sr.'s number 8. 1 second.
Okay.
Let me give me a sec. All right. Forgot my I didn't have any notes today,
No,
so
all
I
good.
forgot my little thing here so
Okay.
I can keep
Got it.
track. So what'd you get?
Jerry
You got
Rice, Larry Fitzgerald,
Jerry Rice,
Steve Smith.
Larry Fitz,
Yep.
Steve Smith Sr.,
1X, and that the
and
X was
1X.
Antonio Brown. Yeah, I thought his
Yeah.
I thought he was on there, dude.
No, two little seasons probably.
He could have been, dude. Jeez. Yeah. He
Oh
could have
my
been.
gosh,
Ugh.
easily.
Oh, dude, this is actually kind of hard because no, but I'm
You're gonna be
subconsciously-
pissed.
Now that you told me there's a tight end, I can't stop thinking about who the tight end is, and I think I know who it is. Tony Gonzalez.
See it.
Yeah.
Tony Gonzalez, my
So-
man. Nice job. You're not getting these two wide receivers that are on here.
Really?
I'd be very, very impressed. I'm talking, if you get even one of these two guys, I'll be thoroughly impressed because I
Okay.
don't even know either of them.
T.O. Yeah.
Terrell Owens is number 3. You only got
So,
one
I'm
strike.
sitting at
This
5
is
right
solid
now.
right now. These other ones that you're looking at, the names that I'm not talking about besides these other
Yeah.
two, are very doable. I'm talking like very, very doable.
Chad Johnson. Oh, I thought
Nope.
Chad. I thought Chad.
Strike numero dos. He is, let me see where he's at.
Really?
He's not even.
It might be under Ocho Cinco.
No, no, he's
Oh,
not
dude, I don't know
even.
why I'm having a brain fart right now.
I know, that's how I felt last week. I can't believe I didn't get Roger Maris. Whoa, this is actually crazy. Where is he at?
Let me think here. Okay.
Oh yeah, he's number 38. He's number 38 with 11,059.
Yeah, dude. Right. Yeah.
In 10 years,
That's pretty good.
though.
Yeah, like that's the
pretty
thing,
good.
dude, is like there's some dudes, right? Like freaking Calvin Johnson. I know he's not on there.
Yeah,
that's
no,
what I'm
not
saying
on here.
Is like someone like him, if he played his entire actual career, like dude, stupid numbers.
Oh yeah, crazy.
All right, so who do I got so far? I got what?
Yeah. So you have Jerry Rice, Larry Fitz, Steve Smith, Tony Gonzalez, Terrell Owens, and you got
I'm
2
probably gonna get
strikes.
effed. I
You
don't
could
think
go on
so.
a run here. Bro, you're
I'm
forgetting
sure I am.
one that's so easy.
I'm sure I am. dude.
Like,
I'm-
so easy. I consider him possibly, I think, honestly, if I think I was on a lie detector test, I think if I said he's the greatest receiver of all time, I would be telling the truth.
Really? I'm just,
Yes.
dude. I'm freaking like drawing mental blanks right now. Oh,
Yeah, this happened to me last week.
you forgot Babe Ruth last week for a while.
For a bit.
Let's see. Top 10. So I got T.O. Are any of them current?
I mean, somewhat like recent, like
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
like
but I'm
we
saying
watched
not
them a
currently in the
bunch.
NFL. All those dudes are retired.
No. The only guy, the most recent is Larry Fitz.
Dude, I'm about to. Then Steve Smith.
And then it's
yeah,
Steve
yeah.
Smith after that.
Which, dude, he's slept on. People don't realize how good he was.
Nasty. And the fact that he wasn't even a high draft pick, was he?
I don't think so. No.
Because he started as a special teams player, and he like literally in like his first game or
Yeah.
something, literally took one to the house, and they were like,
Right.
"What the
He-
hell?"
Right. He's a savage.
And then he just took over.
Yeah, he is.
And
Yeah,
he's
he is.
small. He's small. But all right, I'll give you the years they played. 2000 number 10 is 2001 to 2014. Number 9 is 1996 to 2008. Steve Smith Sr.'s number 8. Number 7 is 1988 to 2004. Never getting him. Tony Gonzalez is number 6, 1997 to 2013. This number 5 is 1994 to 2009.
Hey,
I don't even know who this guy is. And he played.
Marvin Harrison has got to be on there. Okay.
Marvin Harrison is number 9. Good job.
Marvin Harrison. So what's that? 6 out of 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 10.
Marvin
2
Harrison.
strikes.
And then let's go. I'm gonna say.
Dude, you're gonna be so pissed that you forgot this one.
Randy Moss. Yeah. Randy
Thank
Moss.
you, Jesus. I literally think he's the best
make
ever.
The argument. Although Jerry Rice still putting up like 1,000-yard seasons when he's like 49 is like wild.
No. Trust me. Jerry Rice has to be regarded as the best wide receiver ever. I'm just talking about just that.
Now. Two boys.
For now.
All right. Let's see.
But okay.
I got 7.
You got 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8,
all right,
and 9.
I don't think I'm gonna be right here, but Torrey Holt.
No.
Okay.
Torrey Holt is 17th.
All right.
Is with 13,382. Okay, the top 10 are, and like I said, these two, if you would have got the two that I'm about to say, it would have been crazy. But honestly, you're going to be pissed that you didn't get the rest. Jerry Rice, Larry Fitz, Terrell Owens, and this is in order. Randy Moss, Isaac Bruce.
Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce. That's what I was trying to.
Isaac Bruce is number 5 overall, dude. Then Tony Gonzalez. Then this is the other one that I didn't think you'd get, which was Tim Brown, Steve Smith Sr., Marvin Harrison. You ready for number 10? I'm not even kidding you. This is shocking for me. I would have never guessed this. Reggie Wayne.
He was on the tip of my tongue, but I'm like, with Marvin Harrison there, did he put up those type of numbers? But yeah, did. Yeah.
Yes. So Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison were only separated by a little over 200 yards.
Dude,
Andre Johnson was number 11 right behind them. Yeah. So that was honestly, that was the only one that I thought no way, just because I figured you maybe would have known Isaac Bruce just because he's so high up on that list.
When I said Torrey Holt, I was literally deciding Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt. And I just went Torrey Holt because I'm like, it's a name that I probably shouldn't do it, so I took a chance. But no, that was a good one though. That was a tough one.
Yeah, no, this was, dude. I can't believe it that Randy Moss was like my Babe Ruth last week. Oh my gosh, I was literally like, I would have said literally right out the gate, Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, boom.
When we do them blind,
but all right.
we legitimately do them blind.
I know. Maybe we should go like because we'd be knocking it out of the park with like 5 out of 10 of the top 10 or something like that. No, I feel like this is it's tough.
All right, I'll take it.
You got 7 out of 10. You forgot Reggie Wayne, Tim Brown, Isaac Bruce. No, I don't even know what team he played for.
This is not me just saying this. If I would have gotten like 5 strikes, I would have gotten Isaac Bruce and Reggie Wayne. Tim Brown, 0 chance. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, no.
Not that he's not nasty, obviously.
Yeah,
but
no.
I wouldn't have got that.
Yeah. What team did he even play for? I just clicked on his name. I don't even see it.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, did he? Game logs. Let's see who he was on in 1995. Who the hell did he play for? How does it not say it here? Oh, here we go. He was drafted Raiders. Played for the Raiders. Oh, so he was on those. So he was on those good Raiders teams then.
Did he never play for the Patriots?
I guess that.
No, dude.
It said he was drafted in the first round.
I was completely wrong on that, dude. I thought he played for the. What's it called? I thought he played for the Patriots at one point.
You know, he was nasty. He was absolutely nasty.
Yeah,
I've never even heard of him, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, nasty. Absolutely nasty.
Yeah.
But all right, that's really what we got. We always end it
No.
with that. You got anything else?
No, dude.
You got anything else this week? All right, just under an hour and a half. That's pretty solid. I got to because I was an idiot and had to upload episodes one right after the other like 2 weeks ago. We only have like an hour and like 10 minutes left on like the system that I use to upload it. So I'm just gonna pay.
Yeah.
It's like $2 to get some extra time. So I'll just do that. But enjoyed listening to this week's episode. Follow everywhere. Tell somebody about the Arm Barn if you're a person listening to this. But that's what I got. Have a good rest of your week. We'll talk to you guys next week. Later.
We in the Arm Barn. We in the Arm Barn.